Welcome to practice. My name is Laura. The props I have today are the usual ones: blocks, a blanket, a bolster, and a yoga strap. So as you are arriving, gathering the props, when you are ready, the invitation is to find a seat that will be comfortable for you for the next couple of minutes at least. It absolutely does not have to be cross-legged. We might add some props underneath the knees or underneath the thighs. Letting the eyes rest. Let yourself sigh, arriving. Taking a full deep inhale in through the nostrils and perhaps releasing it through an open mouth. And if that felt good, consider one or two more. And we may be sliding into a closed mouth style of breathing where we are both inhaling and exhaling through the nostrils. And noticing our experience of the breath moving the body. Perhaps we are noticing the gentle rise and fall of the belly. Maybe we are noticing the widening, the expansion of the ribs, and the softening, the dropping down or inwards with the exhalations. And perhaps with the eyes softly, softly closed so that we're cultivating our inner awareness, our inner felt sense. Notice your whole right side. The temple, the cheek, the right side of the neck, right shoulder, right side body from the armpit down to the hip. Perhaps we're noticing right thigh, knee, ankle. And then slide your attention, your awareness to the left half of the body. The temple, the cheek, the neck, the shoulder, the arm, the side body, armpit to hip. Notice the thigh, the knee, the ankle. And then as we are breathing, palms facing up, in the mind's eye, picture bringing small movement into the fingers. What does that look like? And perhaps we explore that movement, physical movement, very gently moving fingers, still feeling breath and body. And we may notice that the body is exploring intuitive movement. Maybe there's a slide, a rock. Let's still the fingers and rotate the left palm to face down, perhaps resting on the knee, resting on the thigh. Invite that right elbow to bend. Consider opening the eyes, turning the nose tip to the right as we extend that right arm out, maybe at about shoulder height. Let's curl the fingers in, nose tip forward, bringing the hand back towards the shoulder. So we'll repeat that, shoulder height, or maybe a little bit lower, just whatever feels instinctive in this moment. So we might go back and forth with that reach. So the fingers open as we extend, and they curl in as we draw back in towards midline. So as we're breathing, consider now going up a little higher. So if you were at shoulder height, go up just a little bit higher. Kind of like we're slowly going up a set of stairs. So we might move a little higher still. But we could always take a step back. So we absolutely do not have to go higher. We might try it out and then come down a step or two. And then releasing. Let that right hand rest, palm down, eyes at rest. We may sigh. Perhaps we're feeling some heat or other sensations in that right side. Consider circling right shoulder. And I am moving, mirroring directionally. I'm moving too. And then we'll pause and rotate. Move your shoulder in the second direction. And let the eyes rest. Spinning now that left palm to face up. Right palm stays down. Feel breath. Notice breath in right side ribs. Explore breath sensation in left side ribs. Breathing evenly. Beginning to extend the left hand. Head may turn to the left, maybe a little movement in fingers. Curling the fingers, gathering back in. Extending, reaching out, open the digits. We might have that movement in the fingers, curling, bringing fingers back in. So if this side is feeling particularly interesting, you're welcome to take it lower, go down a few steps, stay at the same height. We might try out going up just a little bit higher, reaching and gathering back in, reaching and gathering back in. And then we may bring it back down. Just listen to how it feels. Maybe your wrist, your forearm, shoulder, side body, wherever it is you happen to be experiencing it today. And then let's release. Let that hand land. Let the eyes rest. Full breath in body. Observing the echoes of that movement. They might be subtle. Maybe they're like crashing cymbals. And then we may begin to circle, move that same side shoulder and go the other way. Move shoulder in second direction. And then let's pause and spin both palms to face forward. Exploring bolder movements now through the fingers. Let's float the hands up, twirling, circling the wrists, reverse, circle, second direction. And now let's incorporate the elbows. So that might include the wrist. We may just need to focus on the elbows. So we're circling from the elbows and maybe swirling the wrist as well. Go the other way. And then releasing. So we'll palms face down, eyes soft, thumbprints, index finger prints connected. The other digits very gently curling upwards. Full breath. Feel yourself get a little longer, a little taller. Maybe there's a little S wobble to help you lengthen upwards. Bending the left elbow. Consider reaching that left arm up in the air. Go for it. Length. We might have movement in the fingers. We might have a little lean even towards the right to help us get that left arm up just a little bit higher. Ooh, let that arm come down. Sound effects optional. Let the body breathe. Soft jaw. Second elbow bending. Perhaps reaching up, extending up overhead with that right arm. But listen to the body. If the shoulder or any other part of that right side body says, no thanks, feel free to stair step down, bring that arm down lower. We may have movement in fingers. We might notice, I'm going for even more height. And in doing so, tipping, leaning a little to the second side. Let the arm come down and invite both shoulders to explore some circles. Reverse. Notice how that feels through the neck. Let's land. Notice which foot you either have in front or on top. We might grab a couple of props. And maybe you still want props underneath the legs, but perhaps not. Consider a little bit of a forward lean. So how is that foot that's on top or in front? How is that whole side feeling from the hip down the thigh? We don't really want to be feeling this in the knee. We don't want knee pain. We might tip in a little bit deeper. We might find stillness. And let's gradually rise back up. And as we do, rock on back. Soles of the feet to the ground. So we may give a little patter with the soles of the feet on the floor. And then that top leg side, extend that leg out. Your hands might be behind your back on the ground, mine are on blocks. So pressing them, overextending through that leg. Rebend, try the other side, reach out through the other leg. Take both legs long. So hands maybe on the ground, perhaps fingers tented, and draw the little toe sides of the feet together and then open them back like you're trying to draw the little toe sides of the feet up towards the hips. You don't have to hold it long. Soles of the feet turn in, we draw them back. Soles of the feet in, draw them back. Take the feet a little wider so you can just give them an easy rock. And let's trade sides. So your second leg is now either the in front leg or the on top leg. Give yourself a few moments to find the seat that will work, and maybe that includes props. Let's spin both palms forward, invite the arms overhead together. Very gently turn, twisting towards the right side. Let's inhale back up through the middle and exhale, rotating, twisting second side. Inhale back up through the middle, thumbs to forehead, thumbs to heart. Let's extend the fingers forward and circle from the wrists and go the other way. We'll bring the palms together. And if you notice the wrists were feeling particularly sensitive today, maybe the fingers even, keep the hands separated, pressing the heels of the hands forward. We'll scoop the arms in and we might go up a little higher. We might leave the fingers together and extend. Drop the arms, scoop, and go up a little higher. And we may just keep going up a little bit higher and higher until you reach the highest height you're going to go to for now. And we might find a little wobble, a little wiggle. And again, very gently rotate towards the right. So left hand, left palm stays up. We're freeing the right hand. Let that right hand come down, palm resting somewhere on that right leg. Just let it be, I'm going to say comfortable, but at the same time, if your elbow wants to fold in, try to invite it to point out to the right a little bit. We're rotating perhaps a smidge to the right. If it's all about the head turning, let the nose tip come more forward. Breathing into body. And let's release that left arm down. How's that left wrist feeling? We might give it a few swirls. We may cluster. Maybe we even bring the back of the hand onto the ribs and fold the elbow in. So second side, but we'll get there perhaps through bound fingers, scooping forward and coming up to the height that works for you. Find breath, and then free the left hand. So the left hand is coming down and left fingers may face the right. And if that elbow is draping in, which is easier, try to invite the elbow to point out. It's a little more energetically expensive. Find breath. Are we cranking the chin to the left? If so, back it off a little bit. Those right fingertips are attempting to point left. How are we feeling through that right side body? So let's release that, spiral the arm in, and maybe we just do some shoulder rolls. Go ahead, grab your props if you're using them for a forward fold. Maybe keeping props under the legs, maybe not. And we'll explore that forward lean, tipping in. We'll slowly rise on our hands, may come to the ground or on blocks behind the back. Plant the soles of the feet to the ground. So the leg that you just had in front or on top, that is now the leg that's reaching out first. Overextend, reach out, slide it in, second leg, overextend. So we'll bring both legs back in and then reach them out together. Now, if you're sitting on a taller prop, please feel free to put it off to the side. I'm going to hip hike back so that my feet are in the frame. Consider ankle circles and then go the other way, circling second direction. So if we still the feet and look at the big toes, just go ahead and give the toes a little bit of wiggle. Maybe they've been in shoes and snug socks all day. Let them have some freedom. We may need to use our hands for this. We'll try it first without. So I'm going to talk with my hands here. Look at your big toes and think about your big toes moving forward, independent of the other digits. So the other digits stay back and then swap. So the other 4 digits move forward and the big toes move back. So we give it a try. Maybe it works a little, maybe it doesn't at all. So if that's the case, bend your knees so that you can reach your toes. So you might hold the 4 digits, big toes forward. We may hold the big toes, press the 4 digits forward. You could plant them down on the floor if that's comfortable for you. Hold the 4 down, lift the big toes up, and then release and swap. Hold the big toes down. And you might be perfectly content going back and forth on the floor. And then kind of like you're trying to snap your fingers, do that with your big toe, second toe. It won't really make the snapping noise our fingers make. Just give it a little try, see what happens. And then we'll get a little more detailed. So choose a side and find a gentle figure 4-ish position. So we'll grab hold of our own toes and splay them wide, like you're opening a fan. Splay the toes, and then let your thumbs move down to the ball mounds of the toes. And then just keep going down, down into the arches of the feet, down to the heels where maybe the heels are a little tougher and we do some squeezing, some side finger pinching. We'll make our way back up to the digits and let's help them take a walk. So big toe, second, third, third, fourth, fourth, fifth. Again, splaying, spreading the toes. And then we may take our fingers between the big toe and second toe bone on the top side of the foot. Of course, you'll have digits on the your fingers on the underside of the foot too to help with the pressure. You might find a very sensitive location. And then try the same thing between the 2 smallest toe bones on that outer side of the foot. And then just any little foot rubs that feel right for you. We'll extend the leg and you're welcome to stay where you are. And we'll bring the other foot up so that we can reach it. So same thing, we're splaying, opening the toes. They won't really go that wide. And then bring it down into the ball mounds of the feet. Down into the arches. Very gently pinch, squeezing around the heel. We'll make our way back up to the toes. And big toe, second toe, take a walk. Second, third, third, fourth, fourth, fifth, and so on. And then we'll find those toe bones, big toe, second toe. If you've got very long fingernails, be careful. And then try the fourth and fifth. And then just give the toe any last care, hello, touch, reach out. We might again try some toe snaps, see how that feels. And let's think about how we might come up to stand. So maybe we're using a couple of blocks for a little assist. We may cross the ankles, we may press down into the blocks and start to rise up, pouring into a standing forward fold. So take the feet as wide-ish as you like. So hips distance or a little bit wider for now, not your absolute widest. Head heavy, neck long. Perhaps swaying the hips. We may find some very gentle movement through the head. And let's find center, and if the blocks are not yet there, spin them to their tallest setting and rise halfway up. If the feet are wider than hips distance, let's heel toe them to hips distance and put bend in the knees. We might climb the hands up or forearms onto the thighs. Feeling long side bodies, letting the shoulders rise up towards the earlobes. Hips sink lower. As we rise up, as long as you're not lightheaded, we may circle the arms all the way up and overhead. Thumbs to forehead, thumbs to heart. So just mindful of your blocks so that we don't kick them as we start to move a little bit more. We may find a lateral move side to side and step the feet a little wider. And we may just start to find that very gentle arm swing. One arm forward, one arm back. Very, very gently knocking low belly, low back. We might decide to very gently knock the upper chest. And then gradually slide the legs in. So as we find our way all the way in, we'll bring the palms together in front of the chest, spinning palms to face up like we're holding something in our hands. Float the hands up a little higher and about the point where it becomes a bit awkward feeling. Spin your right palm, I am mirroring, to face down, face the ground. Left palm's going to continue to feel awkward. You're pressing that left hand up and you're rotating the fingers over to the right, like we did when we were seated. So we're pressing down through the right hand. The right fingers are pointing left. Left fingertips are pointing to the right. And we're finding a little bit of side bend over to the right. Let's make our way back to center, swap the hands. So left palm's down, right hand rising, tip leaning, side bending to that second side. We'll move back through the middle, repeating. And then as we rise back up to center, hands at center, we're going to change it up again just a little bit. So the left hand's going to do the same thing. That left arm's still going to rise. The right hand's coming down, but now instead of going over to the left, it's coming out to the right and maybe a little bit behind. So we have more of a twist. Bring the hands in and swap. So that left hand, palm is facing down, left hand's going a bit behind the back. We'll come through the middle. Repeat. Next time we come to the left side, let that be your final time. We'll make our way back to center. From center, circle the arms up and overhead. And exhale, pouring down. Find your blocks. Let's make our way, if we're not yet there, to the top short edge of it. And you may want knee padding on the left long edge of it. So from the forward fold, right leg forward, left leg reaching back leg. So you might be finding movement through the toes. Hello, toes. I mean, we said a pretty thorough hello to them, but how are they feeling with this movement? We might drop that left knee down. We may find a little sway side to side, just very slowly sussing into that left leg, front of the left hip. There's no hurry to get to your deepest version of the lunge at all. So we may tuck the back toes. We may ratchet that left knee forward as we begin to slide the hips back. Perhaps spin your blocks up to their tallest setting. We may press down into the blocks and hover that right foot off the floor. So maybe we circle, you don't have to circle, it may just hover. You might give it a try or two. Whew, you might be enjoying the heat building. And then go ahead, place that right foot down on the ground. Take the left hand wide to the left, right hand, right knee. Rolling or dipping, you might think about dipping the head of that right shoulder forward. So this might be far more stretch than we want in the shoulder. It may feel fabulous. We may decide to lift the back knee and come out of that shoulder stretch, reaching the arm up and overhead. Releasing back knee, we turn both hands onto the blocks. Back toes tucked, back knee rises, moving hands forward, stepping left foot forward. We'll look out and exhale, chest to thighs. You might be moving your shin knee padding over to the right side of the mat so that it's there. Let's rise partway up, extending right leg back. So finding our way into the lunge, really getting into those toes. Shift the heel forward, back, just to the degree that works for you for now. And we may be dropping that back knee down. Perhaps we widen the hands. We may find a little shift, a little movement side to side. So we may slide the hips back. Now, perhaps we're tucking the back toes and ratcheting that right knee forward. We may need to slide left foot in and spin the blocks up to their tallest setting. So we're going to think about pressing the hands down into the blocks so that we can lift that foot up off the floor. I'm going to move the right block. You don't have to do that, just so you can see where that foot is. And then releasing foot down. And we may lower the blocks. We might even step that foot a little further forward, moving right hand out to the right. So the left fingers may spin in towards the right, and the head of that shoulder might be dipping down towards the floor. Hello, shoulder stretch. You can stick with that. Maybe instead, we're lifting that back leg and reaching left arm up in the air. Cycling the hand down. Find your blocks. Tuck the back toes again. Let that back knee rise. If it's helpful, slide the left foot closer to the right. Step right foot closer to the left, looking out. And exhale, pouring, tipping into that forward fold. So we may find some very gentle nods, circle nods. We may rise part way up. Walking the hands or block hands over to the right. Put as much bend in the knees as you like. We may work the legs a little closer to straight. Bringing the hands back to center. Consider peeling heels up. Dropping heels, we may rock back on the heels, lift the toes. And repeat. So eventually we'll land so that we can block hands over to that second side. Bend knees as you like. Rolling right hip back. Extend that right leg as you like. We'll find our way back to center. Perhaps letting the hands come down to the ground. They could certainly stay on the blocks. You might hold the long edges of your mat. Walking the feet back into a down face dog position. So we may be pedaling the heels. We may press the right heel down, peel the left heel up, pivot left knee towards the right, and the head may tuck a little under that right underarm. When you're ready, pedaling through it and eventually trading sides. Let's find center, wiggle forward, finding a plank position. The knees may land, gradually sliding down to the belly. Consider pointing the feet and coming onto the forearms. So feet and shoes. We might be prone to getting cramps in the feet. Consider, even if we're not, tucking the right toes and pitching back through that right heel. So the knee may be lifting up and off the ground. Release the knee down, point the foot. Try the same thing second side. So tuck those left toes, pitch back through the heel knee, rising. We may even lengthen forward as we hug the elbows back. Let the knee come down, point the foot. We might just find a little wander. Tip lean over towards one elbow, one shoulder. Find the middle, explore your tip lean towards the second side. It doesn't have to be your deepest. And we may just tip lean very gradually, gently side to side. Consider next time you're tip leaning to one side, the opposite arm. So if you're leaning left, we're planting perhaps that right hand down on the ground. The heel of the hand might rise up. So we don't have a lot of weight in that down hand. We may lift the heel of the hand and release. Find our way back to the middle. Slowly explore your Tiffany's second side. So we may be planting that second hand. And we may just be breathing into the hip and the side body. Maybe we're peeling the heel of the hand up and dropping it down. Maybe we're peeling it up and holding. Finding your way back to the middle. Tuck the toes. Pitch back to the heels, so both knees rising. Let the knees come down. Please consider your low back. If you know your low back is really sensitive, maybe don't add on this next part. So we might bring the elbows a little closer to the hips. We may pitch back through the heels. The knees are lifting. We may think about, and maybe it's helpful to bring the knuckles up to your tailbone. You might think about your tailbone tucking down towards the ground, towards the floor, so that the knees will come down and the pelvis will completely rise up. And you can keep the knees down. We may tuck the chin to the chest. If you're turning your head to look at the device like I just was, that might lead to a pain in the neck. So you may want to keep chin down. We may lift the knees and find our way into a full forearm plank. And then do put the knees down. Release the hips, point the toes. Brow down, plant the hands. Very gently let the chest rise. Releasing. Now we may repeat. Take the fingers out wide to the side, perhaps wider than your mat. We're tenting the fingers and stacking the elbows over the fingers. So this might be ample. We may just kind of tip the elbows forward, just kind of calibrating, sussing into it. What does that feel like? We're not lifting up at all right now. Bring the elbows back right up over the wrists. And perhaps we lift the chest. The fingers could still be light. And then place the hands down, back on the mat. Chest may rise up higher, just possibly. Pressing hips back towards heels, child's pose. We may sway the hips a little side to side. We may creep the fingers a little further forward. Sliding the hands in. As we roll up, let's get a little deeper into the hands, into the wrists. So you could do this at hands and knees if you prefer. You might want knee cushion, knee padding. So if we come up to hands and knees, let's turn the right fingers towards 3 o'clock and then maybe head towards 6 o'clock. And then perhaps we sit back, hips closer to heels, letting the heel of the hand lift off. We may release that and cluster the hand. We may bring the back of the hand down to the ground. Take your time to breathe into the forearm or wherever it is that you happen to be feeling it. We'll release. Second side. So left fingers towards 9, maybe towards 6. Perhaps we're sitting back and letting the heel of the hand rise. Breathing into belly. You can stay with it longer if you like, if that's the perfect spot for now. So we may flip the hand and cluster. We might flip the hand and bring the back of the hand down to the ground, working that arm closer to straight. Releasing, maybe twirl the wrist as needed. Consider tucking toes, lifting the hips, finding your way into dog. Then we may be moving knee padding out of the way off the mat. We may step the left foot partway to the hand, centering the foot. Inviting that right leg up in the air. Draw the knee towards the nose, shifting shoulders over the wrists. And then reaching that right leg back and high. We may lift the left heel, release the left heel. Draw the right knee towards the nose, and perhaps one more time we reach that right leg high. We may even drop the left heel and bend the knee up towards the ceiling, perhaps dropping that left foot back a bit. Let's bring the knee in towards the nose. Step the right foot forward. Left leg may step a little further back. Find your lunge twist, bringing the arm up in the air. Let the hips rise, cycling top hand down to the ground. We may step back, wiggle back with that right leg. Sliding forward to plank, shift the weight into right hand, drop on the left forearm and trade. Bring that right forearm down to the ground. You can put the knees down at any point. Slide forward, land the pelvis, point the feet, chest rising. Let the chin dip down a little bit closer to the chest, not touching. We're just not thrusting the head back. We may tip lean right ear towards right shoulder. We may dip the chin a little closer to the center of the chest. Find the middle, left ear towards left shoulder. Shoulders are staying back versus popping up to the earlobes. The chin may tuck closer to the chest. Find center. Let's release down, take a little rest. Slide the hands back. Chest rising, rolling back into a child's pose. We may creep the fingers a little further forward. Let's roll up, coming onto the fingertips, finding our way into a cat pose. And the cat may shift a little forward. The cat may shift a little back. We may hold back and shift left ribs more left. Hips lean, tip a little left. Shift right ribs more right. Just little movement side to side. It does not have to be your full range of motion. We'll bring the hands forward, toes tucking, hips rising. We're back in dog. We're centering the right foot and we're bringing it a little bit forward of the left. Left leg, lifting leg. Draw the knee towards the nose, shoulders shift forward. Reach the leg back. So we might be peeling that right heel up. We may be dropping the heel as we shift forward. It may again lift. And then next time we reach that leg high, perhaps we drop the foot over towards the right. So we'll have bend and top knee. Drawing the knee in towards the chest, navigating that left foot forward, maybe wiggle, wiggle, right foot back. Right hand maybe down, left arm reaching up, rising up. Cycling that top hand down. Let's take a moment. Hips back, slide that leg back. We may hold dog. Sliding forward, releasing onto one forearm and then the other. Knees may drop, toes may point. Sliding forward. Releasing all the way down. Plant the hands. Pressing hips towards heels. Tuck toes, hips rising. Center left foot, right leg reaches. Step the right foot forward between the hands. Follow it with the left looking out. Exhale. Chest towards thighs. Put a little bit of bend in the knees. Circle the arms all the way up. Thumbs to forehead, thumbs to heart. Let's step out. Wide stance on the mat. Right toes angle to the right. Invite your lunge, bending into that front knee. Re-extend fan toes. We may heel toe, left foot further back. We may sink a little deeper. We may open the arms out to a T. Peering over to the right. We may extend that right leg, take the arms overhead, pivot toes in. Left toes turn out. Let the arms come down. Maybe we keep hands on hips. Extend, rebend. If and when you are ready, let the arms open. Peering over to the left. Rising back up. Angle the toes in. Heel, toe, toes in a little bit. Heels may turn out, and we might play with that rock on the feet. I'm talking with my hands too here. Eventually bend the knees, hinge at the hips, tipping forward. Maybe we heel toe the feet a little wider. You might have a block or two. underneath the hands. We may turn the chin to one side and sway the hip to that side. Let the chin find the middle, hips and chin sway to the second side if you need to. The feet are sliding, you'll toe them in. We might find the middle and walk the hands further back. Crown of the head getting closer to the ground, the heels of the hands maybe peeling up. And let's walk the hands forward, pivot, right toes towards the right, find your lateral lunge. Re-extend, turn the toes in, let's look left, turn the toes a little left. Maybe a little bit of bend in the knee. Find the middle, heel toe, heel toe, heel toe, feet in. Sink down into the hips, forearms to thighs. Let the hips sink a little lower. Very gradually rising up, shifting it out. So how are the knees feeling? And think about how balance might be feeling. So you might come to a wall, you may want a hand at the wall. We always have options. You could sit in a chair, or you could take a block and put a block to the left, outside the left foot. Hands on hips, bend in knees. Play with the weight shift towards the left. So we might just pull the toes up and get lighter on that right foot while we're standing here with a bent left leg. Drop the right foot, we may stand up, shift to the right, and start to hover that left foot. Drop the left foot, we may fully extend and take a full walk, just kind of shifting side to side, bring it up into the shoulders. So consider sinking down, shift the weight to the left, and the right foot may just cross over in front of the left. We might have that block there and step the foot up. So we could be resting the ball mounds of the toes on the block, heel elevated, and we're sinking down. So you might be feeling a pretty big stretch in that outer left hip. And let's rise up, shift it out. If you have two blocks, you can always just have the other one over to the right or swap sides. So let yourself sink. Bring left foot in front, left toes on top. Now we may sit down a little lower. You're listening to your knees, so there might be a level of bend that we're not going to because the knee says no thanks. And then we're rising back up, shifting it out. So how does that feel in front of the thighs? So we might use the wall, mindful of your blocks. Take the right foot back, toes back. We may open that right arm out to the side, maybe left arm as well. We may bend right leg and hold the foot or hold the pants with one or both hands. Now, if you find yourself leaning forward, looking at the floor, invite the crown of the head up to the ceiling. Invite the gaze to roll upwards. Let's release. Rotate, again, mindful of any blocks we have nearby. Tuck the toes back, second foot. Chest rising, arms might come out to the side. We may bend that standing knee. We may press off and go hold of the foot with one or both hands, getting more into the front of the thigh. And releasing, shifting it out. So we still have our blocks nearby. And let's step the feet wide. Right toes back to the right. We're lunging, bending back into that front knee. And we may take that top arm up in the air. We may take that top arm diagonally overhead. So that thigh perhaps is heating up. And we may slowly rise up, pivot right toes in, left toes out. Find your lunge, right arm high. Right arm may reach overhead on the diagonal. We'll slowly rise back up, pivot toes in, heel toe, navigating feet in. So we can come back to blocks outside either foot. We may sink the knees, sink the hips, shift weight left, and pull that right leg up. We may bring the right foot onto the brick that is out to the left. We might just wrap that right leg with a free floating foot. Perhaps we add in arms. Now, balance is a challenge, so try to fix your gaze on something that won't move. Left arm on top of right. Give yourself a hug. You could also just sit in the balance ball and do the arm aspect. We might bring backs of the hands together, fingerprints to palms, the elbows may rise, forearms forward. Breathing. Maybe we sink a little lower. Let's rise back up, unwind, shift it out. We may roll out those shoulders. When you are ready, no hurry, fan toes, free wide toes. We may just play with that little rock forward and back. Knees bend, hips sink. Weight shifts right. We're getting lighter on that left heel. We're pulling the toes up. We can find the brick. We might just let the foot float free. We may open the arms. So left legs might be the on top leg. So bring the opposite arm on top for your hug. Maybe backs of hands, fingerprint to palm. We may sink a little lower. Carefully rising up and unwinding. Shifting it up. You might just take a little walk in place. How do the shoulders feel? The hips, the knees. Let yourself breathe. So before we come down to the floor, and we will, go ahead and take your feet wide again. Right toes turn right. Know where your block is. You might bring the forearm to a thigh. We might be finding a block and putting it under the right hand and extending right leg closer to straight. Top hand maybe on top hip. Top arm may reach up in the air. We bend the knee. Perhaps we take the block with us. We may bring forearm to thigh, hold the block. We might keep the block at the chest. We may decide to extend the block overhead, rising up, extend the leg, pivot toes in. Second foot toes pivot out. We're bending into the knee, forearm to thigh, block to the ground. Extending that second front leg, maybe top arm unfurling. Breathing in the side ribs. So bending back into that front knee, we may bring forearm to thigh and hold the block in front of the chest. We can make it more narrow. We might extend the block. Rooting down, rising up, pivoting toes in, heel, toe, go ahead and let the block come down. And we'll think about coming down to the floor, and we may want a block at the back edge of the mat. So however you would like to get there. So maybe we are going to come right down and sit on a block. We're going to think about folding right foot back. So this might be a lot for the foot, that point of the foot. You might use your knuckles, make a gentle fist, and just do some swirls with the knuckles. Maybe wherever you happen to feel tightest or maybe a little crampy in your foot, you might need to use your fingers to help spread the toes out. You might need your block up a higher level so it's not too intense in the ankle. For some of us, maybe we're feeling not much. Maybe we need a little bit more. And it might be that you drop your block a level if it's not already on its lowest setting. We may bring the hands behind the back, give a little tap to the grounded foot, the left foot. You're pressing into that foot, lift the hips and tilt your tailbone upwards. Put your bottom back down on whatever you're sitting on. Ooh. Now, if your right shin is rising up, try to bring the shin down. Try to Velcro the shin down. How does that feel on the front of the thigh? If you're still not feeling a lot and you're sitting on a block, you might need to go lower. Maybe use something softer like a towel or a blanket to sit on. And we'll carefully rise up. We'll need to untuck our seat. Navigate right foot forward and left foot folding back foot. So again, you can use your knuckles to do some foot care, some little swirlies. You could use your fingers to open those digits if they're really tight, clustering and crisscrossing. We may take our hands back. Little tap to the right foot. We're pressing down into the right foot to lift up off the block. Roll the tailbone up, put your seat back down. So we might feel this a whole lot more in the front of that left thigh, maybe even right up the left hip. And we might notice a big difference side to side. And let's slowly, slowly rise up, untuck. So that you can then untuck the leg and we'll shift off whatever prop you happen to be sitting on. Maybe you have shifted forward into a squat. You might decide you really liked that block for your squat. So we might be taking feet wide and up on the block. The heels could be elevated. You might need to roll up a prop and wedge it underneath the heels. For some of us, and it's usually genetic, the heels will drop down. So if that's not you, go ahead and roll something up and put it underneath the heels. We might bring palms together in front of the heart. We might touch thumb prints, index finger prints, and let the backs of the arms gently press into the legs. And then take your time. We're coming all the way down, however you would like to get there, preferably without a big kerplop. So maybe we're just tipping in. Maybe there's another manner that you'll come down in. So in case that squat position wasn't for you, we'll try one on our back as well. So we'll come down onto back body and just invite the knees into the chest. And you might crisscross an ankle, not necessarily. And you might just find a little tiny rock of the legs, just a little side to side. If you are an ankle crosser, try crossing the other way. It probably feels less comfortable. And then we might just start with hands on knees and part the knees wider. We might be sliding the hands down from the knees towards the ankles. Some of us might hold the ankles. That said, what is the head doing, the neck and the low back? So we want the head and neck supported. So if it is not on the floor, you might need some sort of pillow prop. And same thing with your sacrum, your tailbone, you might need a wedge, a folded blanket, something underneath the hips. So we may be grabbing the ankles and just letting those knees widen out. And maybe there's a dull achiness in one or both inner thighs. Maybe they're feeling pretty open. And then gradually let the soles of the feet come wide on the mat and let the knees pour in towards one another. Hands may rest on the belly. Noticing the gentle lift of the belly towards the ceiling with the inhale. The dropping, the sinking with the exhale. And then we may bring our palms, our fingers, without weaving them together onto the belly. And just draw some clockwise, very soft, gentle circles. Clockwise circles around the low belly. And then next time your hands land to the lower right, pause there, breathing. Inviting ease, release. We might even take the fingers and delve in a little deeper, just a little bit of abdominal massage. And then we'll come up a little bit higher, bumping into the ribs. So this should not be painful. So just be very ginger And then let your fingers traverse over towards the left side. You might find some tender, some sensitive spots, but if anything's making you wince in pain, maybe go get that checked out. And then go down a little lower, heading towards that left side. You tend to hold a lot in the belly, front body. So just completing a circle, making your way all the way around. Please feel free to repeat and then just let the hands rest. Um, heel toe, the feet towards that left side of the mat. Option, maybe reach out and find your bolster or a blanket and place it to the right. We may sway the hips more left and tip the knees over to the right. So you could use your prop as a wedge. You might prefer the prop between the knees and ankles. We might press that right elbow into the ground and scooch the right shoulder a little bit more to the right. Option to extend the right arm. We may prefer to have the arms overhead. Full deep breathing through that sky or ceiling side of the ribs. Let yourself release. At your own rhythm. We'll find our way back to the middle. We'll scooch the hips more to the right. We'll take our prop, our knees over to that second side. We may extend that left elbow and scooch left elbow, left shoulder more left. We may unfurl the arms or maybe bending elbows overhead. Find a position where the neck has the most ease. You are welcome to stay longer. You may be finding your way back to the middle, spinning your bolster so that you can drape the legs over the top of the bolster. If you'd like to go a little higher, maybe you're bringing your lower legs onto a chair. We may reach out and grab a blanket or another cushion for weight, placing it over the belly. If your ground is cool or chilly, if you don't have any insulation, sufficient hand cover or sleeves, consider keeping the hands on the body, letting the eyes rest, perhaps giving the head a little rock, and finding the spot where you can let go. Taking a deeper inhalation as you release, returning movement to toes, bending elbows, bringing movement to fingers. Consider pressing down through the heels and reaching up through the arms, and exhale, let it all go. Bending each knee, bringing soles of the feet to the ground, sway the hips to one side. Carefully rolling, resting on side body. There is no hurry. If and when you feel ready, supporting yourself back to a seat, perhaps second favorite leg on top. We may connect the palms, rubbing them together. We may bring a hand to the belly, a hand to the heart. Breathing. Sealing our practice with vibrational sound. Deep inhale through the nostrils. Thank you. Thank you for sharing this practice. Please let me know if anyone has any questions.